Hey guys, and welcome back to Shelter 2, up now with part 2, so the continuation of where I left off, which was heading for the Tundra map after having not quite successfully dealt with the hawk and the fox. But yeah, so welcome back, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. But yeah, so I was so concerned about that fox that I didn't bother. I was too afraid to basically try and catch a rabbit. So now I'm looking desperately to see if there's a rabbit nearby so I can feed the babies again. Because I think they're okay. You can tell from their color how they're doing. They start to get really dull and really kind of sad looking the hungrier they get. But I'm still not entirely sure how much time you have before they basically just instantly get a little dark. And then how much time you have between them getting a little dark and them collapsing prone onto the ground, making these really just heart-wrenching cries because they are starving to death and you're a terrible mother. So yeah, I really just want to catch a rabbit right now to give to them just in case. Look how cute they are. But yeah, so the mountain DLC predators are no joke. And the game also has, what's the word I'm looking for? Natural disasters that'll happen. There's one in particular that I'm pretty sure it's a mudslide is what it is, where it gets all dark outside and the music goes all weird and the kittens get really scared, and sometimes during the natural disasters, a kitten will freeze up. The first time it happened, I freaked out because it was making the starving to death cries, and I just fed it. And it won't move, it won't run, it won't follow you, it doesn't do anything. So you have to actually pick that kitten up and then run with it to save it. Because if the big, brown, slowly moving mass touches a kitten, it is insta-death. So you need to get the fuck away. Is basically your only chance to survive the natural disaster, is to get wherever the natural disaster isn't. Now, I have seen through watching other Let's Plays, forest fires that'll happen. And for all my generations, I haven't actually experienced that yet. But again, I tend to stay in the same areas of the map that through my initial playthroughs proved to be safer and to be a little more abundant in food. So that play it safe, be cautious style has potentially kept me away from the maps where the forest fires happen, or maybe I've just gotten lucky. See, there again, I'm trying to pick it up, but I picked up a kitten instead to try and stop myself from inadvertently feeding the center two instead of the edges. So I did stop the brown one from eating, which made the black one eat, but there's still I don't think that was the one I meant for it. But yeah, so basically now I really just want to catch 2 rabbits, so I know for sure everybody's had a meal recently and I don't have to worry about one of them having been left off because I dropped the rabbit in the wrong spot and the wrong 2 ate it. But yeah, the natural disasters are pretty terrifying when they happen, and the first time I experienced that mudslide one, which happens in the field I'm in now, I had no idea what the hell was going on. One of the kittens froze and started crying, and I ran in a circle. Like, I think I was in this area here, and somehow, by some lucky shot, wherever I was on the map was actually safe from that particular natural disaster. It didn't actually touch there. So I literally just hunkered down with the kittens right there, and panicked, is basically how I got through that first mudslide. After that, when I've been in this map and it's happened, I've basically run back to the den, to that big tree in the middle, because it's slightly more elevated, and I felt like that was pretty safe. You know, the middle is the best place to be if you've got shit coming from every side. But yeah, so now we're heading into the winter place. The winter section of the map, which again isn't winter, it's a giant snowflake. Because we're kind of in that between area, I don't know if this is actually true or if this is just the few times I've actually noticed, but I don't think I've ever seen rabbits or prey or anything in this in-between kind of area when you're passing from the valley into the tundra, I guess. But yeah, the tundra, like I said, I'm fully expecting to wind up losing a kitten. Because when the wolves come, you've got to jump up on these rocks to get away from them. And if you're not on survival, the second you jump up on the rocks, the kittens just jump up there with you. On survival, it's a little more true to what it would be in the wild, in that the kittens are not big enough or strong enough to make that kind of jump. So you have to pick them up one by one to bring them up onto the rock that will keep them safe from the wolves. So you've got exactly as much time to get all 4 kittens up onto that rock as it takes for the wolves to get from the edge and into the middle. And let me tell you, when the wolves start coming, that is not a lot of time. So I am legitimately terrified going into this section because I know eventually the wolves will come. And I feel it is inevitable, as I've said, that I'm going to wind up losing a kitten to them. Because I'm not going to be able to get all 4 of them up onto those rocks at once. I'm going to panic and I'm going to miss one, or I'm going to wind up jumping up without one, or... like, I don't know exactly. I don't know how it works. So if you look at the kittens now, the orange one in particular, the one there that's well, not on the far left anymore, but the one that's, yeah, right there on the far left, he's not nearly as orange, or she's not nearly as orange as she had been. She's starting to get really hungry. The gray one is looking a little dull there as well. The fucking tree. Like, it's the worst part in these kinds of maps when you're chasing something, is the random stuff that just gets in the way. So that orange one in particular, I really need to find some food for her, because she's not going to do well. So if I can get a 2-for here, that, oh, I ran out of stamina though, yeah. So, so close, but you see those rabbits off to the right, so if I can... I'm trying to make sure the red one gets it here. There we go, so watch, you'll see the color instantly jump, see? Instantly so much brighter, and the black one got a little darker and a little less of that dusty kind of gray. So now I really need to get food for the brown and the white. Oh, rookie move. See, I got distracted. I changed targets. Ah, perfect, I still got one though. Though I've got like no stamina. I need to be a little more conservative when I go after something. So I want to make sure that the brown and the white one get it. And then watch the brown one. Oh, yeah, see, so that's where I need to put the kittens. So there's the black one up there. So the brown one's color should be, yeah, a little brighter now as well. So basically what I'm doing right now is panicking, because I don't know when the wolves are coming. I'm afraid that it's imminent that they're going to arrive, so I'm trying to put all my kittens up now, so that whenever it indicates it's going to happen, they're already there. The reason I'm doing this, one of the main kind of symptoms to look for in this game before bad stuff happens or predators come, is all the rabbits disappearing, and that's what I'm doing now. I noticed there were no rabbits around and I panicked, completely forgetting that I had basically just ran around like a maniac and scared all the rabbits away. Now the red I'm seeing off in the distance there is deer, but because of the distance I was like, those could be the wolves. They could be like about to just come out basically, and that's the end of it. And I'm basically afraid to move right now, which is what I knew was going to happen, and it's one of the reasons that I didn't want to come here on survival mode, because I'd panic and I'd trap myself in these situations. So right now I'm going to go and try to get them some food, and I'm really just hoping that they stay up there, that they don't try to follow me, because if they stay up there, I'm freaking golden. Because I can just leave them up there, run around, catch the rabbits, bring the rabbits back to them until the wolves inevitably come and like screw it all up for me. But it's not going to work that way. So, see, I've already got one of them behind me. Don't I? Didn't I just see one? Yep, there it is. So there's Keyleth. And as you can see, she's starting to get, she's not very bright. So they are getting hungry. I'm basically starving them to death in my terror, trying to keep them up. Right now I've got extra panic because I've used all of my stamina to catch that rabbit. So if the wolves come now, not only can I not run to get away from them, but I wouldn't be able to get Keyleth back up onto that rock with her sisters. So Keyleth would inevitably be sacrificed. And now Pike is down as well. So I'm putting them back up because, again, I'm panicking. And because of that, yeah, like you hear those sad little cries they're making. So now I'm afraid that that means the wolves are coming again. So I've gotten back up. I'm looking for rabbits. I see the deer. I do see rabbits, so I know we're okay. But I still don't trust it. And I'm basically starving my babies to death because I'm afraid to take them down to try and move a little further in or to try and go get a rabbit because I know that they're not all gonna follow me. And look how cute they are when I lay down. They all just cuddle in next to me. It's adorable. But yeah, they're making the sad little cries because they're hungry. The little orange one's really dull in color right now. I'm pretty sure the brown one is pretty dull. The black one's looking more gray than black. And still I'm just sitting there because I'm a terrible mother and I'm afraid of the wolves. I'm like 100% convinced. Oh, this is just the map. So it shows you where I am in the winter territory. But yeah, I'm just convinced the second I get down there, the second I bring all the kittens down with me, the wolves are going to come and I'm not going to be able to get them all back up again. So now I'm going to take Pike over to this rock and put her up and see if they maybe just stay where they are instead of following me. I know they won't. I've already seen evidence that at least one of them is going to follow me down. But I'm still hoping just because it would make it so much easier if they just stayed on the rock I put them on. But yeah, jumping on beyond their capabilities. Jumping off is a little more in their wheelhouse. So I'm looking for them now, confirming that they're all still on top of the rock. And then we'll put Pike up on this one. So now I'm going to go and try to get her sisters. And lo and behold, Vax and Zara are already down. So now I'm trying to pick them up, but and I'm trying to jump, but it's just not quite working for me. Whoop. And over the other side. Because again, I'm terrified the wolves are going to come and eat them, and I don't want them to die, so I'm inadvertently starving them to death, which is going to kill more than the wolves will take, because I'm pretty sure the wolves will only take one. But Keyleth didn't follow me. So it's like, god damn it. It would be so much easier if they weren't going to stay, if they would all just follow me. So now I've got to go back and get Keyleth and hope that these guys either stay here or that they follow me as a single unit so that I don't wind up going back and forth. I'm also going to try and catch a rabbit since it's there. Because again, I haven't fed them in a while. I've been too preoccupied trying to save them from the wolves, and it's inevitably going to kill them. So, there we go. So I'm debating if I should take it back to those three, or if I should start by going to get Keyleth. But I'm going to go ahead and get Keyleth, because as long as they're staying over there, I may as well go and collect her first. So I'll just leave the rabbit there and jump up. So now, where's Keyleth? Where is Keyleth? Did she jump down? See, there's Vex. So Vex followed me over. See, you hear that? Keyleth is starving to death, and I can't even see her. I see her now, just to the right there. But when I first did this, I could not see her on the edge. I couldn't see her at all. I'm trying to pick up the rabbit right now so I can bring it to her, but I don't know where she is. At this point, I think she's fallen off, and that she's maybe in the bush. But I honestly, I couldn't see her on the edge when I was playing it, and I was full-on panicking, so I brought that up and dropped it, hoping that wherever she was, she'd find it, and she did. So she'll eat that. We'll hear the happy little chime. That means I saved her from dying. But she does eat the whole rabbit herself, instead of sharing with a sister. So now she's back to orange and back to full health. So I'm going to go up and collect her. So see how much better she looks? And at this point I'm realizing that I'm a terrible mother and all of my kittens are inevitably starving to death right now because I was so afraid of the wolves. And now there's the added stress of the rain, which is also going to cover the sounds the wolves make, and will likely, and at this point I'm thinking it's probably when they're going to come, just because I'm going to get all these guys down to try and feed them. because Keyleth was close to death. And as you saw, I'm pretty good at feeding them all within a pretty short time frame. So if Keyleth was about to starve to death, it means they are all about to starve to death. So I really, 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 really need to make sure these guys eat. So because Vax was strong enough to basically follow me over to save Keyleth, I've decided to feed these two first, and it's a good thing I did because they are collapsed up here. And there's the death cry. So they are literally about to die. So we'll feed them, which I think because they are sharing it would only be like half a feeding each, where Keyleth ate the entire other one. And because I learned nothing ever, I'm still collecting them all and putting them all back up on the rock. So we'll add Vex up there. So now Vex really needs to eat something. Like, she's a lot smaller than her sisters. And she's the only one now that hasn't eaten recently. So I really need to catch a rabbit for her. Or she will starve to death before the wolves even had a turn. So here we go. So, terrible mother. And at this point I'm waiting for them all to gather so I can make absolutely sure Vex is one of the two that gets the rabbit. So now I know all four have eaten. So that's perfect. I'm realizing now that I'm a terrible mother, which is less perfect. Still absolutely terrified that the wolves are going to come and that's just going to be the end of all of us. Well, I mean, that's a little overdramatic. It's going to be the end of one of us, one of the kittens. But I don't want it to happen. Like, I've got such a good track record. And then he ran instantly, so I turned black, I went to my predator sense and looked around. Because I wasn't sure if that was just me triggering it, or if that was one of the symptoms of wolves be imminent. Because again, one of the hints that a predator is coming is all of a sudden all the prey creatures just vanish. They take off and you're nowhere near them. So it's something I definitely watch for when I'm in this map because I hate those wolves. So that feather we just passed, you can tell from the shiny, it's one of those collectibles from that menu I showed with the skulls. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab that. Because the last generation I played, I got an achievement for finding a pink feather. So I don't know if there's some kind of thing for collecting feathers specifically, but that would be pretty neat if I got an achievement for collecting a black feather. But yeah, so I've got this. Vex and Keyleth were fed last, so yeah, that's going to go to Pike and to Zara. So the rain has stopped, which is good, because you can hear more. The music still seems pretty friendly. I can see rabbits off in the distance. So this is literally as safe as you can be here, and I'm just coming to the realization now that it's probably going to be winter soon, and the amount of rabbits that are out here, that's going to change. So I do need to start moving further in. Because that's where the deer are, and that's where I know the rabbits are still going to be in the winter. I don't know if they're going to be out here. And if they are, they're certainly not going to be out here in the same kind of numbers. So that's something I need to work on. Now, this is where the game starts to glitch, and just before it crashes, basically. So this is when I inadvertently realized I had not actually been recording any of the audio. So yeah. So it gets really twitchy, and then it crashes. There it goes. Yep, so that is basically how it goes. So, yeah. So once I've been able to restart that game, basically, I'll continue on with the playthrough. It won't be from that spot, because it's going to go from the last save, and as you probably noticed, this is not a game where I can save at will. It saves at specific moments. In this case, I'm pretty sure the last time it saved was when I first walked into the wolf territory. So I'll get to redo that part where I was a horrible mother. I'll basically get a second chance to keep them well fed and not have them all almost starve to death at the same time, which, let me tell you, has not happened before and is not something I am at all proud about. But yeah. So when I restarted, I will hopefully do better, move in a little faster, which will admittedly probably trigger the wolves, because I'm thinking now is maybe I just wasn't moving in far enough, and the wolves would trigger when you got so far into the territory. whereas I was staying in the shallow end of that map, let's call it. But yeah, so that is the first chapter for my latest survival run through of Shelter 2 with the mountain DLC predators on and in full force. So yeah, I definitely recommend this game to anybody. As you can tell from my family tree, I do find a lot of repeatable play available in that game. I enjoy it every single time I play it, even when I'm being especially cautious and avoiding areas I haven't been in before. It's a lot of fun, and it's so beautiful, and I really want them to make a new one. But yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys in the next play. Bye.